Getting more customers is great. But if those customers get to spend very little, then you always feel like you're running in circles. And to avoid this, all you have to do is find means of how you're going to increase on each and every customer's value that you already have. And when you increase on their value, it means they will get to spend more in your business. Okay. And the best part, to do this, it is way easier and cheaper than finding new ones. So if you're interested, then let's dive into the video. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Alan. I help solopreneurs and new business entrepreneurs to start, grow, and scale their businesses. If you may, to understand this, I always want to put it in an equation kind of format so that it is easier for each and everyone out there to remember. Yeah. So the equation is customer value, which is CV. To increase this or to get it or to understand it, you have to multiply your average transaction size, which is ATS, yeah, times purchase frequency, which is PF, multiplied by the relationship length, which is RS. Yeah. So it is to get customer value, you have to get your average transaction size multiplied by the purchase frequency multiplied by the relationship length. So let's get a deep dive of what each of these are. Yeah. Starting off with the ATS. Remember, ATS we said is the average transaction size. So for the average transaction size, this is basically a representation of how much each client gets to spend in your business. Yeah. So when they come to your business, when they come to your shop, when they come to your office for consultation, how much money is it that they are going to spend on you? So this is how much money they spend on you or in your business. Now, if you're in business, for you to increase the average transaction size, you've got to pull on some sort of new tactics, yeah, or new sales tactics. For this, you could choose to pull up and do some sort of upsells. Yeah, you could do some sort of bundling or bundles, or you can even choose to offer premium. So I'm going to give you an example of how these get to work. Okay. So let's assume we're running a photography business, yeah. And one of the things, our basic service or our basic price is, let's say this covers just 3 photos plus 1 video. And if you want to increase on the average transaction size or how much our clients or our customers get to spend with us on us, is that we say, now, if you are to choose to do upsells, we'll get to say, now you know what? Why not pay like add on $50 and you get 5 photos plus 3 vids, like 3 videos. This is an upsell. Yeah? And if you are to even go ahead and do a bundle, we would say, oh, what we are going to do, we are going to do all these, like 5 photos. This is basically the basic plus the add-on, put them on a frame, plus even get you a flash drive or a hard disk or a disk drive for proper storage. Yeah. And for you to have this, it will mean you're going to create a bundle. What other people call it, a full package. Yeah. That's what some people call it. And if you are to go for this, all you have to spend is $300. That is how you get to increase on your customers' average transaction size. Yeah. For premium, you can choose to say, okay, we are going to do all this, but in a premium location. Maybe we do all this, but from your own convenience. We can do it from your home. We can choose a fancy location, maybe a resort, a fancy resort, a 5-star hotel or something like that. Yeah. So that is how you get to increase your client's transaction. Also, the most important thing I want you to note is if you're trying to increase your average transaction size for your customers, you're not trying to force the sale. It's just basically you trying to give them something better, yeah, for just an increased sort of price, yeah. So it means the more you get to give, the more price you get to give. It is not that you're forcing that. So let that be in mind, because I know most of you would say, oh, now that is like scamming. That is like trying to squeeze so much from your customer. But if you're giving so much value, if you're giving so much of what the clients want, then why not increase on the amount of money that they have to spend on you? Yeah. The second thing is purchase frequency. So this is basically the number of times your customers get to buy from you. Okay. So it is just number of times your customers get to buy from you. And your role as a business owner, your role as someone who is running a business, is to find means of how you get to increase on the number of times your clients get to buy from you. Yeah. So for the wise ones, some of you would do memberships. You could do loyalty programs. You could do subscriptions. Yeah. So all these three lead you to one thing: increasing on the number of times your customers get to buy from you. So that is the second thing. An example I want to give you here is that let's get to think of you as a consultant. Yeah? So if you offer a one-time payment, yeah, which is $100 per year, that means with every customer that gets to come to your business in a whole year, that is 365 days, they pay $100, and that is too little. Yeah. When you keep doing this, that means you're going to go back to the process of running in circles. Or you feel like the money they spend on you is too little, or you think that the customer value is too little. So you go back, find more customers, do the same thing. Yeah. Basically keep running in circles. Now, for you to increase in the number of times these buyers get to do, you get to do the following. Yeah. Maybe start by offering like subscription packages. Yeah. Break down the year in quarters. Yeah. Let's say a year has 12 months. So let's break it down in quarters. That is every 4 months. Yeah. Performance. Performance, let's say you charge $100. Yeah. So for you to increase the number of times these guys get to buy from you, you say it is 4 months per $100, which means that each customer or your customer value is 400 times 3 or times 4, which gives you about $1,600 in a whole year. Yeah. So you've increased the number of times these guys buy by breaking the year into 4 quarters. That is every after 3 months. Yeah. So every 3 months that pass, they pay you $100. So they have to keep coming back to you for 4 times in a year, and each visit they get to make is equivalent to $100. Meaning that instead of you earning $100 per year, you're going to earn $1,600, yeah, or $1,600. Okay, and that is it. Yeah? And maybe something you need to note when it comes to purchase frequency. When you always stay on top of your customer's mind, that means they will keep coming back and do purchases. They'll keep coming back to buy from you because they're always thinking about you. They're always thinking of the new things you're going to present to them. So that is very important. Now, the last parameter on the equation is RL, which is relationship length. This is just basically what kind of relationship do you hold with your clients, or how much longer do your clients stick with you? If you're doing consultation, how much longer do you get to keep that one client? Is it 2 months? Is it 3 months? Is it for years and years and years? Is it 10 years? Yeah. So how much longer can you keep your clients? That's basically your relationship between you and the client. Because you also need to understand that when it comes to business, it is not just about making a sale. It is more of you trying to create some sort of journey whereby your customers will feel like, oh, they're part of it. And you as well, you feel like you're part of it. Yeah. So it is a more of creating a journey where you and your customers get to grow together. Okay. That is more of relationship length. And the best way you can get to do this, yeah, again, using the same example of being a consultant. For you to increase of that relationship length, or for you to create some sort of journey where your customers get valued or feel like they are part of you, you grow together, is when you get to do some sort of like customer support. Yeah. So let me give you an example. A few days ago, at the hospital where my wife gave birth, they had to call her and find out how is her daughter doing, how is our daughter doing. Yeah. Is she doing okay? Is she having troubles? Is she having some sort of complications? Yeah. So that is customer support. Now, I want you to tell me, with such support, do you think you'll ever go to a hospital that won't even try to check on you? Heck no. And that is one way how these guys or how that hospital is trying to keep that kind of relationship between the client and themselves. Okay, that is one way. The second way is you try to create service tiers, creating new service tiers. Okay? So let's say you only had one offer, or you only had one delivery set of offer, yeah, that you come once per year, and that is it. Yeah. So for you to keep building that link so that you and your customers grow together, you go ahead and break down this into 3 quarters. Yeah. And do like you come 4 times per year. You come and join me. Yeah. We chat. We try to break down what is working, what is not working. All right. So the more they get to meet you, is the more you're trying to connect, is the more relationship you're going to build. Yeah. And people who meet you 4 times a year, they are more likely to stay longer than people who just meet you once every year. So keep that in mind. Then lastly, you get to create communities. Yeah. Community membership. So this is why you build some sort of community membership, some sort of space where you and your clients get to meet. And speaking of communities, I have a free school community where business-minded people, new solopreneurs, entrepreneurs who want to start, grow, and scale their businesses get to meet and we digest more of these business-related topics. Yeah. So if you want to join in, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Yeah. But back to the business. If at all you want to build more relationship, create some sort of community. Yeah. If you're into health, yeah, create a community about health where people get to come, get ideas, exchange ideas, talk about what works, talk about what doesn't work, talk about what are sort of the failures that people are going through. Yeah. This is going to make them feel like they're valued. It is going to make them feel like, oh, it is not just me going through the same phase, but I have a bunch of other people that also go through the same phase. And trust me, with communities, you'll never go wrong. And trust me, the more members you get to have in the communities, is the more those specific members are going to stay with you, is the more that relationship length is going to expand. You might even end up finding that you've been with someone, or you've been with a client who has spent more than 100 years with you. As long as your community still runs, as long as you offer new tires or new meetup places, as long as you do those ongoing customer support, then trust me, the relationship between you and your client is going to expand. Yeah. And also something you need to note about relationship length is that your customers will never get to buy once. As long as you have that relationship between them, yeah, they'll always keep coming back to buy more and more and more. Okay. Now, there you have it. The customer value creation formula. Yeah. So all you have to do is to increase more of your customer value, you have to increase on your ATS, yeah, plus an increase in your purchase frequency, and then increasing on your relationship length. Yeah. So increase more of this, then be rest assured that even your customer value will increase, which means that they are going to spend more in your business and you won't even get to worry about finding new clients. And now that you know how to increase on your customer value, do you know how to increase on your profit margins? If you want to do that or learn how to do that, then watch this video next.